When you're out in community, people are happy, they're optimistic about what's to come.
1 year ago today, on October 18th, Calgary made history when Mayor Jyoti Gondek was elected, becoming the first female to hold that position in the city. Close to 400,000 Calgarians lined up last year to cast their ballot in a municipal election, which saw Jyoti Gondek take 45% of the vote and a victory over 26 other candidates. Reflecting on the past year, Gondek says the new council came into an incredibly trying time. Still, she says they've made great strides, and she's impressed with what they've been able to accomplish.
We were coming out of a pandemic, we thought, and then we got hit with a variant in December. We were just starting to come into economic recovery. There were so many things that were going on. And, you know, in the last year, we also saw a change at the provincial government in terms of leadership. So we have been in a very interesting year, and I think this council has managed themselves very well. I think people have really focused on the job at hand, and that is to serve Calgarians, providing them with the services and the certainty and predictability they need.
Gondek hit the ground running when she stepped into office last October. She had her fair share of challenges from the start, with 11 new faces on city council, a sexual assault scandal involving Ward 4 councillor Sean Chu, and the Calgary Event Centre deal falling through. Gondek also admits to having a less than solid relationship with Calgary Police Services at the start. But she says there's been a lot of progress over the past year.
Council was incredibly concerned that there was an encampment that was going to be torn down. And we challenged Calgary Police Service and said, you know, this doesn't seem right. These are people in positions of extreme vulnerability. And very confidentially, we were able to host a meeting between the police service and council to understand what was actually happening in that encampment, and the fact that there was a criminal element that was putting people in jeopardy. And I would say that was a breakthrough moment, because we understood that sometimes we take for granted that we know what each other is going through, and we don't always.
Gondek says it was a pivotal moment when both parties realized there's not one point of contact for dealing with homelessness in the city either. She says that opened up bigger conversations on how to care for people in vulnerable positions, bringing them to the newly announced Mobile Crisis Response Unit, jointly funded by Calgary Police Services and the City of Calgary in partnership with the Alex. Looking ahead, Gondek says there is a growing sense of optimism in the city.
When we invested in our downtown revitalization strategy, that was $250 million that previous council had made, and it was augmented by the new council. And we saw 777,000 square feet of what was previously office space being taken up for conversion towards building homes downtown. And so now we will have more than 700 units of housing downtown that was particularly office space, and it was empty. So that is going to increase the amount of activity that's happening downtown, and we'll have a proper core that has people living there and working there all day and year round.
While reflecting on her relationship with the province, Gondek says she had some pretty good battles with former Premier Jason Kenney, but they also had a strong relationship as leaders, with direct communication and courtesy in regard to city and provincial issues. She says she hopes to build a similar relationship with Alberta's new Premier Danielle Smith, stating that is how you serve a common public. In Calgary, Shilpa Downton, City News.